List of changes, 4 changes coming in for the Pakistan team. The nice thing from a Pakistan point of view, I don't think it makes them a weaker side. It's still a very, very strong team. We've got Mohammed Hasnan that I'm sure will try and make a point as to why he should be playing more often in this format.
Right, well, we've seen Wesley Madebere come into the side to try and boost that, of course, Clive Madande out. But a bit of a concern at the top of the order for the Zimbabwe openers. A couple of starts they've had even in the ODIs, but the manner in which they're losing their wickets after batting okay for a period is crucial.
Yeah, I think what you lose in exchange for giving young guys an opportunity sometimes can be consistency. So they bring an element of freedom and they can play with liberty up front, but the consistency is something that they have to work out, and you can only work it out whilst playing. A couple of those dismissals for me are regulation T20 dismissals trying to make a play. The last one there, Bennett going out in the 6 over the other day, that shows us a little bit of a lack of experience to me, and what I mean by that is something that I had to do is manage power plays for the teams that I had to play for, and I was watching him. Zimbabwe, very good position, 37 for none after 4 overs. There's a maiden wicket. What do you do the next over? You've stood and you've watched the wickets fall, you've seen the run rate crash down, the pressure increasing, and I just feel at that stage where Bennett hit that sky ball to square leg, maybe in a year or two when he's a bit more experienced and he understands his role and how quickly things can go wrong like it did the other day, maybe you just knock it for one there, get to the other side, give Dion Myers an opportunity to get his innings going, exit the power play, make sure you're there. Zimbabwe 43 for 1 maybe might be the case, and then you've got an opportunity to steer the ship after the power play and make sure that Pakistan don't get the opportunity to bowl to 2 new batters. And that's exactly what happened. And from that point, Zimbabwe, the batting lineup looked like they were in quicksand, bit of a disconnect, and things just fell apart.
Yeah, I think the one point that you make that's valid is that in a couple of years he'll probably make a better decision, because the one thing he said in the last game was he felt the Zimbabwean batters were getting themselves out. So hopefully, as you say, as he matures a little bit, he'll make better decisions when he's got the opportunity out in the middle. Right, well, it's been fantastic batting conditions all the way through the series. Let's go and find out what the surface looks like today. Your thoughts as we take a look at the Hoover, Morne?
It's a good surface. Nobody would mind having a bat on that. Solid, quite uniform from top to bottom. No real grass covering there. Expect the new ball to come on really nicely, and then it's just a matter of time or trying to see when is it going to start taking turn, when is it going to slow down. But I reckon this first innings is definitely going to be the better time to bat, and there was no surprise with the Pakistan captain deciding that as well.
Well, the surface looks fantastic. Let's talk a little bit about the Pakistan seamer, Abbas Afridi, because I thought he did a fantastic job in that game. A couple of wickets, but it's been on a surface that really has been assisting the spinners as opposed to the seamers. So he had a fantastic spell, didn't he?
Yeah, it's almost like you have been watching the last couple of games and maybe listening to us just talking the Pakistan spinners up, as rightly they should have been. They've been fantastic. And he just said, hang on, I'm going to show you guys what I can do. And what I was really impressed with, and it's so important, it's a key in this format, is from that first delivery, you've got to be on it. Otherwise, you lag behind the rhythm of the game. You're under pressure and you've got to try and find a way to rectify that. He was on it from ball 1, and it was almost just like he was a step ahead of Moramane the first couple of deliveries, put him under pressure, 2 dots, third one, no room, wicket of Moramane, and then also looked like he did a bit of his homework against Dion Myers, didn't go too straight, really good channel, found a line and length with energy early doors, and yeah, they created the breakthroughs up front that allowed the spinners to clean up the back end later on.
How difficult is it for him to come into the side not having had an opportunity and perform as well as he did?
It's never easy. It helps when you've got experience, so you sort of know how to do that. But it's not easy to come in from the cold watching cricket. You can practice in the net as much as you'd like to. There's a different energy, a different feel once you get to the middle. So hats off to him, because he certainly showed everybody just how effective he can be.
Yeah, hats off to him. Very effective on that surface. But the best figures in T20 international cricket happened after that spell for him. And Sufyan Mukim, outstanding in the first T20, even better in the second. 5 for 3 he got in his spell. He was outstanding all the way through. What a future does he have for Pakistan?
Just look at those figures. You think it's something that's not really possible. You look at the 5 or 6 and you think that would never be beaten in our lifetimes. And somebody comes along like Mukim, and it was just an absolute dream spell. I think every single skill that he tried to execute worked out perfectly. left-handers, right-handers, the ones that went away, the ones that turned in, his variation in pace, but just somebody at the top of his craft. And it takes years and years and years to get to this point, and to get your rewards on the international stage like this must be very rewarding.
Now, the one thing that stood out for me certainly is the control that he's got. You're talking about the wrong un and the googly and his stock delivery, but when he bowls it, he often gets the ball in the perfect area, and that's why he's been so effective.
Just try and think about bad balls that he's bowled. Can't really think of any. He's just been farm ball one, been on that pot of gold, that length that's worked on the surface, and that's another skill as well, trying to sort of have a look at the surface, what sort of speed you're going to get a reaction out of, what's the length that you think is going to trouble batsmen, and he's found it very early on in all his spells here in Zimbabwe.
Very quickly, before I let you go, Morne, what will Zimbabwe have said to themselves about playing spin on the surface?
Well, if I had to play Mukim, I'd set up stall playing him like almost a left-arm orthodox spinner, expecting everything to turn away. I don't think we should see any Zimbabwean batsmen anymore looking to play the ball leg side if you're a right-hander with a turn. His stock delivery is the one that turns away. So look to rotate off that, and that sort of would be the first thing that I'd like to see. And then stay positive. Look to score. We don't want to see a Zimbabwean batting lineup in the shells.
All right, well, it's time to get live action. Let's go and see what's going to happen in this final T20 hour.
Dos.
Brush karo, brush karo, brush karo, brush karo dinara.
Sensodyne kids se mile. Mazbuti ka saath acha. Hey, wow.
Cavities dur bhagaye. Daant hue hai strong.
अब खुल के करें हम जिगल all day long.
Brush karo, brush karo, brush karo.
Sense